Okay, these are all the feelings, your feelings today. You are good, I think. Okay, confused, sad, not bad, got stressed. Okay, hopefully after this, all of you will be happy. Okay, let's start our lesson today. Okay, so today we will continue to do revisions on chapter quadratic function. Okay, so what you all learn in quadratic function? If I miss out your questions at the chat, you all can open your mic, okay, and respond. Okay, on the spot I can hear you. Okay, because I'm worried that I keep talking that I miss out your questions under the chat. Okay, so what you all learn in quadratic functions? Okay, I written one. Okay, which is completing the square, which is most important that you learn in quadratic functions. Beside that, what else you learn in that topic? Formula. Okay, what formula you learn in the quadratic function? Okay, before that, do you remember what is the general form of the quadratic function? This is the general form, ax squared, okay, plus bx plus c. Okay, that's the general form for quadratic function, where your a cannot be equal to 0. Okay, that is your general function. Okay, you learn completing the square in the quadratic function. What is the general form for the quadratic function? Sorry, completing the square. How it is look like? Okay, when you change your function, okay, into the, after do the completing square, it should be in this format. Okay, it will come with the general form in this become. So this will be fx here, sorry, without the fx. After you do completing the square, it will transform it into this form. Okay. So after this, beside completing the square, what else you learn about this? What is the purpose you do the completing the square? What's the purpose you do completing the square? Find roots to solve the questions. Cari titik maximum. Okay, yes, actually we do the completing the square to find out, okay, which is the maximum and the minimum, right? Okay, of the graph. Then determine, okay, maximum and minimum. Okay, if maximum, what is the value of A? Kalau dia maximum, nilai A dia mesti adalah kurang kosong ke lebih besar kosong, if maximum. Okay, kurang kosong ya. Okay, kalau minimum, A lebih besar kosong. Then the shape of the graph, bentuk graph dia, okay, minimum adalah bentuk U. Okay, and the maximum is bentuk N. Okay, so after we get the completing the square, what information actually we can determine from the completing the square? What is the P and what's the Q? Anyone? The P and Q? You can remember or not? Okay, both is the same thing for maximum and minimum. Okay, we can determine after we do the completing the square. Okay, after we do completing the square, we can determine this is the maximum value. When here is the minimum value. Okay, you can determine the minimum value. So what is your minimum value? Your minimum value is the Q. Okay, your Q is the minimum value. Your Q from the general form here. Okay, the maximum and minimum, this is the one. You read from the complete square. So your minimum and the maximum value is the Q. Okay, besides that, you can determine the maximum point, and this one we can determine the minimum point. Okay, minimum point, and this is the maximum point from the general form also. Okay, so what's the maximum point from the one is your negative P and Q, and this is the same thing, negative P and Q point. Okay, beside that we can determine the axis of symmetry. Okay, axis of symmetry. Okay, you can determine the axis of symmetry. For this one is the same thing, axis of symmetry. So how we get the axis of symmetry? We have to write the x, which is equal to negative P. Okay, this is also the same thing, x equal to negative P. But it that depends on the general form. Okay, beside this one, x plus P, the question come out sometimes will given ax minus P as well. Okay, so it depends which form. If let's say the given the general form is x minus P, let's say this is x minus P, the minimum point will be become PQ. Okay, then the axis of symmetry will become x is equal to P. So it depends on the general form. Okay, in quadratic function, the most important thing is you have to know how to do the computing the square to determine the maximum value or minimum value or the point. Okay, so the come out questions in this topic will be this. So another one that come out in the exam. Okay, sorry. Okay, so another one which is relation between the positions of the graph. Okay, another one is relation, which is your b square minus 4ac. Okay, greater than 0, b square minus 4ac less than 0, b square minus 4ac equal to 0. Okay, this is a slightly like your quadratic equation. Okay, it's the same thing is when your a is greater than 0, a less than 0, the conditions of the graph and the position or the position of the graph. Okay, when a is equal to 0, okay, the graph will be like this. Okay, for this one will be like this. Okay, if less than 0, there will be like this one, and this one will be this one. Okay, then equal touches x only. Okay, 1 point for this one. Okay, so the last thing that you learn in quadratic function, okay, which is quadratic inequalities. Okay, inequality. This one too thick. I should put lighter a bit. Can see or not? So another one is inequalities. Okay, so inequality means that your equation must be your fx either is greater than 0, or another one is your fx less than 0. Okay, so when fx greater than 0, the answer should be like this. Greater than 0, both sides. Okay, the answer will be x. Let's say this is p here, q here. So your answer of your x is less than p. Okay, and your answer x greater than q. Okay, if your fx less than 0, okay, less than 0 is in between. So this is the region. So your last answer for your x will be in between of P and Q. Okay, So to solve the questions for inequalities, make sure your last line, okay? If greater than 0, your answer will be in this form, okay? If your last line, and you solve after arrange everything, after you factorize everything, you'll get your last answer which is less than 0. You'll get your answer in this. Only two ways, two ways only, okay? Practice yourself to write your last answer in these two patterns. Okay, some of you may like to use in this way. I always see in the exam, you all write like this, maybe like this, okay, or like this. Okay, cannot write like that, okay, this one cannot, okay. So sometimes you like that tends to confuse how you want to write the final answer, right? So stick to these two answers only. If greater than 0, x less than p, x greater than q. Okay, it's less than 0, in between, only 2. Okay, so basically quadratic function actually in these past few years, okay, there's seldom come up in paper 2. Okay, normally quadratic function come up in paper 1. Okay, at least 2 questions. Okay, 2 questions. Quadratic equation also 2 questions. So basically, actually, quadratic equation and quadratic function will be like each other lah. Okay, same lah. Okay, more or less the same every year. Okay, when the new KSSM, okay, syllabus, they already combine these 2 topics into 1 chapter. Okay, so your batch is the last batch of the KBSM. Okay, so still separate topics. So basically, what you learn in quadratic function is this. One more. Okay, one more. There's a sometimes will come on paper 2, which is sketching. Okay, sketching the graph. Okay, so for this page, for this overall, and any questions to ask or not, and understand, someone can respond at the chat.
Yes.
Yes, okay, good. Okay, so we move on to the next part, which is sketching. Okay, sketching very important. Okay. Before we go to the example of the question, okay? So for sketching graph, okay, follow the step and remember follow the step when you start sketching the graph. Okay, sketching graph of quadratic function. Okay, sketching the graph. Okay, first step you need to do is to determine. Okay, first thing you need to determine, number 1, check the value of A. Okay, because we need to know the shape of the graph. Okay, kena pastikan dia bernilai A. Okay, the value of A. Okay, if the value of A, which is greater than 0, okay, so what is the shape? A greater than 0, shape is like this. Okay, A less than 0, shape is like this. Okay, so this is the first step. Okay, when you're sketching graph. Okay, second step. Okay, what you need to do is, anybody know the next step? What should you do for the next step when you want to sketch your graph? Anyone? Determine the what? Value of what? Find your value of b squared minus 4ac. Okay, find value, determine value. Okay, why do we need to determine the value of b squared minus 4ac? Okay, when we get the value of b squared minus 4ac, okay, from there actually we can know the graph. Beside u or v, u or n, we can know either the graph is like this, or like this. Okay, because before you sketching, we have to know. Okay, if we get to know that b squared minus 4ac, which is less than 0, which is no intersect of x. Okay, so you no need to go and find the intersect of x. Okay, if you get your value of b squared minus 4ac, okay, greater than 0, means that you have intersect of x here. Got 2 value of here. So you need to find the value of x lah. Okay, if you get your b square minus 4ac equal to 0, okay, if you get b square minus 4ac equal to 0, means that you have one point of the intersect, one intersect point, okay? So that's the purpose why we need to find the b square minus 4ac, okay? But normally students will skip these steps, but actually this step is actually quite important, very important, okay? So after you get the value, okay, you can try to do your, actually the second step you can do completing the square first also can, okay? Or after that, we find the b square minus 4ac, okay? Up to you, okay? Completing the square, do the completing the square. Why we need to find the completing square? Because we need to determine either the maximum point or the minimum point from the completing the square, the form of completing square, okay? Then we need to determine the axis of symmetry as well. Okay, so we need to do the completing the square. Okay, after you get the maximum point, axis of symmetry, you find your intercept lah. Okay, after the second step, right, you know, if you get the b square minus 4ac, which is greater than 0, so you need to find the intercept of x lah. Okay, if you see the answer or the b square minus 4ac less than 0, you don't need to find the intercept of x. So the next step is to find the intercept of x and y. Okay, how you get intercept of x and y? Okay, to get intercept of x, what is equal to 0? What value is 0? Y 0 or x 0? Not y lah, okay, actually fx, you are using function, right? Okay, fx is equal to 0. Okay, when find intercept of x, your fx is equal to 0. When you find an intercept of y, your value of x is equal to 0. Okay, so you get the point here already. Okay, the last step, you can start to sketch your graph. Okay, you can start to sketch your graph. That's how the step or follow these 5 steps in order for you to sketching the graph of quadratic functions. Is it okay? Clear? Okay. So the next one, we can go straight away to the question of sketching first, before we go to other questions. Okay, let me see which one is the question of sketching. Okay, this one I think. Okay, this one. Okay, look at the questions. Okay, the given this function fx equal to x squared plus 2kx plus 5k, okay, has a minimum value of 4. Okay, so for sure we need to find we need to do the completing the square. Okay, this is the must in the quadratic function. You know how to do the completing the square. So I know that normally when in quadratic equation, okay, you can no need to use this method to solve the quadratic equation, as you can have other choices, either use a formula and use calculator to check your answer, right? Okay, but for this topic, you have no choice. You have to use completing the square. That's why you have to practice yourself to use this method. Mesti cuba sampai dapat. So ingat, sebenarnya bukan susah. Okay, it's not hard for you to do the completing the square. Follow the step only. Okay, fx, we write back the function x squared plus 2kx plus 5k. Okay, what you need to do is to check the value of a. If the value of a is equal to 1, okay, you can proceed to do the completing the square. If the value of a here, the a is not equal to 1, then you need to factorize it. Okay, so this one, the a is equal to 1, so easier. So you can proceed to do the completing the square. So copy back the first 2 terms. Okay, the third term you put a plus here, bracket, square. Another minus bracket, square. Then behind the third term you copy back. Okay, copy back. Okay, what you need to fill in the bracket, that is your b divided by 2. This is your value of b, 2k. Okay, so since here positive, inside also positive. Okay, so you need to fill up here 2k over 2. 2k over 2. Okay, it's the same thing. Okay, so after that, from there, you can use the first 3 terms. Take the first 3 terms, rewrite it as a perfect square. Okay, take the both with the square and combine it into the perfect square. Okay, how to combine? X tulis balik. Okay, so 2k over 2 is k only, right? So tulis k. Is positive, then positive kuasa 2. So you rewrite it into the perfect square form. Okay, so behind here, always remember must be negative. Mesti negative. Okay, even though the inside is positive or negative, when you square it, already positive. So here is always negative. So ini mesti negative tulis balik. Okay, so it's k square minus k square plus 5k. Okay, so you have done your completing the square already actually. Sudah dapat dah completing the square. So after this, the next step you need to do is you see the question has a minimum value of 4. Here. So just now when we do revision, the minimum value of 4, which is the behind here, this one. This is to find or determine your minimum value. Okay, why minimum value? Because of A is positive. Okay, so we compare the value to get your value of K. Okay, so we write back negative K square plus 5K equal to 4. Okay, so actually like can see, it seems like a quadratic equation, right? So arrange it into the general form. Since the K square is negative, you make it positive, easier for you to do the factorization. Okay, so you can bring over become K square minus 5K plus 4 equal to 0. So you can either use your calculator or use to do your factorization. Okay, so this is 4, 1. Okay, so negative, negative. Okay, so your K equal to 1, so your K is equal to 4. Okay, and you follow this. Okay, hopefully every one of you understand. Okay, so you can see the question said by completing the square, determine the two positive values of K. So we already done for the first part, okay, which is get the two positive values of K. Okay, sudah dapat 2 nilai di sini. So this one done. Okay, for the part A. Okay, for the part B, okay, you need to sketch a graph for the bigger value of X. You have 2 value of K, right? Okay, so they want it the bigger value. So we choose the K equal to 4. Okay, we choose the K equal to 4. We can substitute back inside the quadratic function or the function, which is become X plus 4. Okay, minus this one 4 squared plus 5, 4. So your, sorry, this is square here, which is 16 plus 20. So what is this? The last one? This one, okay, minus plus 4. Okay, so this will be your quadratic functions. Okay, actually from here you already can determine, okay, what is your maximum value? Sorry, minimum value, minimum point. Minimum value already know 4, right? What's the minimum point? Negative 4 and 4. Why negative 4? Because X plus 4 equal to 0. Okay, X plus 4 equal to 0. X is equal to negative 4. Okay, this is how you determine the minimum point. Okay, you already get a minimum point. Okay, so actually when just now sketching the graph, you have first one, you know that the shape of the graph. Okay, A is positive, so your shape is must be like this, must be U. Okay, so you want to make sure either the graph there is any intersect of X or not. Okay, try on to do your B square minus 4AC here. Okay, so we do find the B square minus 4AC. Okay, B square minus 4AC. Okay, so what's your B? From there, actually, you're already in the form of completing the square. Okay, if you want to make back here, so your X square, the Fx, in the general form of function, should be X square plus 2 times 4, right? Okay, X plus 5 times 4. So this is your general form for the function, plus 8x plus 20. Okay, So from here, your B is 8. Square minus 4, 1, the C is 20. 64 minus 80, so it's less than 0. Okay, less than 0, so you can know, you can confirm that there's no intersect of x. Your graph won't touch x, the x-axis, so we no need to find the intersects of x, so we can go to find the intercept of y. Okay, how to get the intercept of y? Your x must be equal to 0. Okay, so in x0, what's your fx? Equal to 20. Okay, so your intercept of y is 20, and you have the minimum point of -4 and 4. Okay, so you have all the information. Now you can start to sketch your graph. Okay, I wrap this part because there's no space for me to sketch the graph anymore. Okay, so we sketch the graph. Okay, you can see that the minimum point is negative, means that on the left side of the graph, left side of the axis of y. I use free hands. I shall use the ruler actually. Okay. Okay. When sketching means that no need to use the graph paper. Okay. Okay. So negative will be on the left side. Okay, so make it like this. Okay, so the y. Okay, so this will be your y and this will be your x. Label it. Okay, so -4 will be here, roughly here. So it's estimation only lah, agak-agak lah. Okay, so let's say I want to accurately 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, roughly here. So means that this is -4. Okay, -4 and 4. Okay, 4 means I'll go up, right? 4 up there, and your intercept of y is 20. So roughly your graph will be like this. Sorry. Okay, move a bit lah. Okay, because the sketching only, right? Okay, sketching only, we move a bit there because no space. So this one will be -4. So here is 4. Okay, so you can mark here as -4 and 4. Okay, and here is your intercept of y, which is 20. Okay, so that's it for your graph. Already complete, then you can manage to get full marks. Okay, so there is no intercept of x because b squared minus 4ac you found earlier is less than 0. Okay, are you all clear how to sketch the graph? No response, okay, means that everybody clear. Yes, Naim, okay, good. Okay, so follow the 5 step, because this one earlier they already asked you to do the completing the square first. Okay, so from the 5 step, if you don't want to use the first step, you skip one second, then back to the first step, also okay. But normally the first thing is that you want to check with the value of a. So the shape of the graph is very important. Okay, so we move to other example. Okay, so the first question, we're going to look for this. Okay, I think I checked with the past year SPM. I think the latest one, the paper 2 come out in this topic will be 2016. Okay, so we do not know whether this year they will come out in paper 2 or not. But normally there is 2 questions on quadratic function come out in paper 1. Okay. Okay, sorry, a bit slow to load the page. Okay, that's it. Okay, so this is the questions. Okay, normally come out in the exam. Okay, so we're given a quadratic function, ask you to state whether the graph of fx has a maximum or minimum point. So that after ask you to state. Okay, so ask you to check maximum or minimum. So how you check whether the questions given as a maximum or minimum? So we have to look back to the equation. So from this equation, we cannot confirm because we cannot confirm, we cannot see the value of a, right? Okay, so what we need to do is we need to expand it, okay, and arrange it into the general form. Only we can we can check with the value of A. If the value of A is less than 0, means that it's a maximum. Okay, if A greater than 0, means that there is a minimum point. Okay, so kita perlu buat ni, expand dulu. Okay, so when you expand the function, make sure do it slowly. Jangan buat cepat-cepat, nanti buat kesilapan. Okay, very important for you to expand. Okay, this one yang 9 ke depan, there's 9 in front there, you don't touch first. Why? Because the behind the 2 is multiply. Okay, we do the multiply first, only we do the 9. Selalu pelajar bukan sebab nampak ni dia terus buat 9 tolak 5 bagi buka kurungan. Okay, lepas tu negative, positive 2x. Then they only go and multiply it. Okay, which is wrong. Okay, so we look here, we see this 2 is multiplied, then we do the multiplication first. Don't make a careless mistake. Okay, I know that you're nervous during the exam time. Okay, but make sure you calm, read the question carefully. Okay, so here 9. Okay, so we do the expand. So do it one by one. Okay, those that not good in expand, okay, you can draw that arrow. Okay, lukis letak anak panah, buat satu-satu. Because when you start with the first step wrong, bawah semua salah. Okay, kalau you dah kembang depan-depan dah salah, bawah semua dah salah dah. Okay, so the first step is very important. Okay, so negative tolak sini. Okay, 5 kali 1. So bracket jangan buang bracket dulu. Don't throw away the bracket first. Okay, so tulis balik. So 5. The second one is plus 5x. Okay, this is another one. Okay, the bottom one, then you make another arrow down there lah, to avoid that you confuse to do the multiply, right? So negative 2x multiplied by 1 is negative 2x. Okay, negative 2x here. Okay, so another one is negative 2x squared. Negative 2x squared. Okay, then after that, you simplify it first before you go and throw away the bracket. Okay, so be negative 2x squared plus 3x plus 5. Okay, so after that, you only throw away the bracket. Negative become positive. Okay, make it one by one. Okay, ni satu dulu. Okay, darab ni dulu sebab yang luar tu sepatutnya negative 1. Okay, supposed to be negative 1 in front, but without the 1 here, actually is negative. Without the 1 here, you already understood. Actually 1. So plus 2x squared. Okay, then negative, positive, negative 3x. Then negative, positive is negative 5. Okay, so after that, okay, we write back in the form of, write in the general form. Okay, so 2x squared minus 3x. 9 minus 5 is 4. Okay, you have done the first part, which is you expand it, okay, and you rewrite it into the general form of the function. So from here, okay, this is positive, 9 minus 5 is positive 4. Okay, so from here, you can already identify the value of A. Okay, A is 2. Okay, so when A is 2 means the value of A is greater than 0. So we can answer the first part of A, which is minimum point. Do you need to find the point first to answer the A? Do you need to find the value of minimum point or just take minimum point? The question states whether the graph of fx has a maximum or minimum point. They ask you to state only. So you no need to find out the point yet. Tak perlu buat completing square dulu. Untuk jawab bahagian A, only minimum point. So sudah dapat 1 markah di sini. Okay, you already managed to get 1 mark here. Okay, maybe some of you kenapa buat banyak-banyak baru dapat 1 markah. Okay, but from here actually after this you do the completed square, easy. Okay, you already expand. Okay, because you can see the question here 4 mark. 4 markah. Okay, 4 markah. So we go to the next part. Okay, which is B. Hence, find the maximum or minimum value of the function. So dia nak mencari dia punya, since you know that it's a minimum point. So the next one, actually we need to find the minimum value. Okay, so in order for you to find the minimum value, you must do the completing the square. Okay, mesti cari completing square dah. So you already in the general form. Okay, so direct, just like just now, I will show you. Okay, copy back the function. Okay, copy back the function. Okay, the next step, first 2 term. Okay, don't throw away. then plus this one square minus square, then plus 4. Can or not? Is it right? Is this correct, the way I do it just now? Betul ke tak? Nobody respond. Betul eh? Yes, Naim. No. Okay, someone say no. Anyone of the response? I want to check whether you all can see or still follow me or not. Ah, yes. A must be 1. So the A is 2, right? Can I direct to go and do the complete square? No. So this is wrong. So, okay. Luckily, okay, you all still with me. Okay, masih lagi dengar, masih lagi bersama saya. Okay, so kita perlu buat apa? A bukan sama dengan 1. So we need to factorize it first. Kita perlu faktorkan dulu. Okay, so we take out the 2. Okay, you know how to do the factorization, right? Okay, take out the 2. Okay, normally we take out 2, we put the square bracket lah after this. Okay, kita buat bracket square because after this we need to find the complete square. Inside there's another bracket, so we make it square bracket. So x square. So kita nak keluarkan 2, so this one 3 over 2 x. Okay, plus how to get 4? 2 times 2. Okay, kita keluarkan 2 dulu. Okay, so check back. Semak dulu apa yang kamu faktorkan betul ke salah. Darab masuk dulu. Ini 2x, 2x kuasa 2. Okay, betul. Ini 2 darab negatif 3 per 2. Ini potong-potong. Okay, dapat negatif 3. Betul. 2 darab 2 dapat ini. Okay, means that your factorization is correct. Okay, so then only proceed to the next step. Okay, so next step which is this now I will show you. Tulis balik dulu. Okay, so yang ini tambah, tolak, ni kuasa 2 square, then plus 2, tutup balik bracket tu dulu. Okay, tutup balik dulu semua kat dalam. Okay, make all inside first. So then your B, this one your B, your value of B here, B divided by 2. Negatif B bagi 2 kan. So 3 per 2 bagi 2 berapa? Negative 3 over 4. Inside will be negative 3 over 4. So if you cannot believe it, you use your calculator. Negative 3 over 2. Okay, divide by 2. Okay, you get 3 over 4. Okay, so the next one is we need to write in the way completing the square. Perfect square. The first and the third one, the third terms. X inside here is negative, so minus 3 over 4 square. Okay, then the behind one you expand square it lah. So 9 over 16 plus 2. Okay, tutup balik. Belum selesai ya. So x minus 3 over 4 square. Okay, selesaikan yang belakang tu. So when you use calculator lah, guna calculator, you should get 23. I think it's positive bigger behind 23 over the 16. Okay, after that, not yet finished, then only you multiply in. Darab masuk, buangkan bracket tu. Okay, throw away the square bracket lah. The front one, you tak payah darab masuk. Okay, you biar dia macam ni saja. Okay, yang darab masuk tu darab yang belakang. The C, this one multiply in. Okay, 23 over 16, you multiply by 2, they will become 23 over 8. Okay, so you have done your completing the square. So from here, actually, you can identify the value of the maximum atau the minimum value of y. Ini adalah kamu punya minimum value bagi y. So this is a positive, right? The positive 23 over 8. So your answer for the part B adalah sama dengan you tulislah. Minimum value is equal to minimum value equal to 23 over 8. So you will manage to get full marks here. How to get the 3 marks at the part B? Because the part A is the only 1 mark, right? So your part B should be 3 marks. Okay. You get the mark here. If you know how to do the factorization, you get 1 mark here. Maka pertama dapat di sini. Kalau kamu tahu membuat pemfaktoran. Okay. Maka kedua, you know how to start to do the completing the square. Okay, when you see this one, you get the second mark here. Okay, the last one is this one. So dapat sini lah. Okay, so dia 3 markah. Okay, so 3 markah, you dah dapat 3 tambah 1 jadi 4. So completing the square is very important. So ingat langkah-langkah macam mana buat. Okay, you practice more, then easier for you to answer this type of questions. Don't be afraid when you see ask you to do completing the square. Okay, sebab selalu pelajar dia nampak saya soalan macam ni, dia terus skip. Okay, so actually when you keep on practice, you will find that very easily. Okay, so this is the first question. Later the question I will be share again into the WhatsApp group or the GCR so that you all practice again. Okay, I already recorded the session also. Maybe I will try to share you all later. Okay, the second one, the second question. Okay, this one is a popular question it come up in the exam also. Okay, which actually you no need to do a lot of working. Actually, you can direct to get answer from the given information. Okay, so actually you have just refer to the graph. Okay, refer to the graph. Okay, rujuk pada graph yang diberikan. Ini fungsi yang dibagi. Okay, so dia nak mencari nilai H inside here, H. Okay, nilai H tu adalah sebenarnya adalah apa? Nilai X. Nilai X di mana? Daripada fungsi yang diberi, sebenarnya kamu tahu di sini. Ini adalah titik maksimum anda sebab A adalah negatif kan. Actually here your maximum point should be H3. H3 ya? Okay, not H is negative, H3. Tolak 3 because X plus H equal to 0. X equal to negative H. Okay, titik H sebenarnya nak cari titik H. Okay, dia tak bagi apa-apa tapi dah bagi tahu ini titik sini. But the point given here is here. From here to here, you know the point here. The maximum point or the maximum point here must be the axis of symmetry, right? Okay, dia mesti dua belah mesti sama. Okay, so actually from here you already know this is negative. This is 0. So the X is 0. The X here is what? 6. So tengah-tengah tu apa nilai apa? What do you think of the value of X? Yes, it's 3. Okay, it's 3. So actually your X here actually is 3. Okay, means that actually they want the value of H, right? So your X is 3. So you put here X is 3 equal to negative H. So your H is equal to negative 3. It's not equal to 3. Why? Because from here, that the form, general form. That's why I need to rewrite out. Okay, X plus H equal to 0. X equal to negative H. So from the diagram, you can see your X is equal to 3, right? So substitute in. So your answer for H is negative 3. Students normally careless. They thought, oh, this one they do it as 3. So they directly give the answer H is equal to 3. So which is wrong. Okay. So here only 1 mark. Satu markah saja. You can see this one ABC. This one 1 mark, 1 mark, 1 mark. Okay. So after you get a H, you know to find the axis of symmetry. So same thing lah, you already know the one is the axis of symmetry. So what's the axis of symmetry? X is equal to 3, yeah? This one is X is not equal to negative 3, yeah? From diagram here is 3, right? It's not negative 3. That's why the answer is different from the part 1. Why H is negative 3? Because we have to check with the form that given into the function. This is X plus H. Unless the functions given is like this. If they give in this form, X minus H square plus 3, okay, your H is equal to 3. Okay, so please bear in your mind. So selalu ingatkan tengok bentuk fungsi yang diberikan. Sama ada dia X tambah H ataupun X tolak H. Okay, kalau ditambah H, sini mesti negatif kalau dia nak mencari nilai itu sahaja. Okay, tapi yang sebenarnya nilai di sini adalah positif kan? Suppose we here is a positive. That's why the part B X is equal to 3. Ini selalu pelajar buat kesilapan juga. Okay, so ingat to write out the axis of symmetry. Front here must be right X equal to if you give your answer 3 only, so you cannot get the marks. Tak dapat markah, ini salah. Tak dapat 1 markah. Okay, mesti ada nampak X sama dengan 3. Okay, tapi untuk yang A tu you telah tulis saja negatif 3 tak masalah, because the question mention ask you to find the value of H. Okay, but equation of axis symmetry no. Okay, so the part C. Okay, define the maximum point. Okay, so maximum point pun kita boleh dapat dari sana dah, maximum point. Okay, so your X is what just now? From here, tengok sini. Maximum point. Sini sebenarnya adalah apa? Dia maximum point 3, bukan negatif 3, tapi adalah 3. Okay, sebab kita tak tengok yang ni. We don't see at this. Okay, we look at this point here. This is positive 3, this is 3, and this is 3. So your maximum point is 3, 3. It's not negative 3 and 3. Yeah? So make it clear. Okay, so you can see any working you do or not? No, right? Okay, you just have to understand the diagram given and the function given only. This is actually more on the knowledge. So that's why 1 mark, no working. Okay, no working, direct to the answer. Okay. This is always a popular question and come up in SPM, but this year we do not know how is it. Okay, so I just give you more example on this so that you all practice lah. Okay, let's look at another example. What is time now? 12 o'clock. What time is your chemistry class actually? I forgot to ask the teacher about the class. Anybody can respond? Because I got still more questions to share with you all. I just read that you all clash with your teacher, your chemistry teacher class. Your class supposed to be earlier for today. Okay, earlier, but you all promised you all on Tuesday to make it on 11, right? Okay. So this one, okay, another questions actually past few years. There must be one question inequality come out. Question your class in 2 o'clock. Okay, so I hope I can pass lah. Okay, so that you all can finish earlier, then you can have your lunch. Okay, this one you see, this is the inequality. Okay, every year if you go back to look back all the past year question, inequality question must come up every year, almost every year. Okay, in paper 1. Okay, so you have to in this subtopic you have to make sure. Okay, you know how to identify the sign of inequality. Okay, so copy back the question. There's only 2 possible answers as I shown in earlier I think map. Okay, expand first. Okay, expand as usual. Okay, so that will be 5x minus 2x squared. Okay, less than 2. Okay, I always advise you all to make your x square okay into positive. Okay, sentiasa jadikan dia positif dulu. Since here is negative, right? I jadikan dia positif. I pindah dulu. I change first. Okay, so I don't want to get confused with the negative sign. So I want to make sure my x square always positive. Okay, so I leave it here 0. So copy back the sign of inequality first. When I move the negative 2x square to the right side, there will be positive. And move the 5x to the right side, there will be negative 5x. Then will be plus 2. Okay, actually they're already in the form of quadratic. Okay, so the 0 on the left side. So since the equation written like this is like weird, right? So tulis balik. Okay, tulis balik. Since in other way around, you read from the right side to the left side, actually is greater than x squared minus 5x plus 2, which is greater than 0. This one can understand, huh? Okay, so that's why easier for you. Your students always confused when I want to change my negative. Okay, change the negative when I change the sign of inequality. How? Okay, so if written in this way, so you only see the left and right, so you don't bother about I want to divide. When divide, I want to change the sign of equality. When multiply of negative, I want to change my sign of equality. But up to if you already get used to it, use the method, then keep it. Okay, if those that always confused when I need to change my sign of inequality, you can try to use this method. Okay, so after I change it, so I make it into bracket factorization. So this one you can use a calculator, use the ABC method. Okay, this one no need to teach you all, right? This one you're very good at use calculator. Okay, so you will be but even though you use calculator, please write it into the factorization method. Don't direct go to the answer. Okay, from here actually we know that your value at x is 1 over 2 and another one is 2. But this is not your last answer. Okay, because this is not equal. This is not equal to 0. If this is equal to 0, this is your last answer. But since this is inequality, make sure you remember just now earlier part, I show you there's 2-way, right? Okay, when that is greater than, it's left and right. So you please mark your point here, intersect of x here is 2. Since greater than 0, the region is left and right. So your answer is x less than 1 over 2. And or your x is greater than 2. So this only will be your last answer. Okay, so remember, if here with the equal sign, make sure there is with the equal sign as well. Okay, must be equal, this one. Kalau tak ada tanda sama tu tak payah. Okay, kalau ada mesti sama. Kalau tak nanti markah tolak. So how do you get your marks here? 3 marks. Macam mana dapat 3 markah? So when you expand, dapat sini dah. When you get here, already you get B1 here. Okay, here from here you get your B2. B2. Okay, not B2. Here only B1. Actually, this and this is the same thing. Okay, either this or this lah. Actually, you can get a B1 here. B2 is either you can get either one of these. Kalau you bagi jawapan satu salah satu betul kan? Okay, you get here correct. Oops, sudah salah. Okay, I padam tadi. Sorry. Okay, x less than 1 or 2. Okay, either one of the answer correct. Salah satu betul. Dapat ni saja. Ini salah. So masih lagi dapat B2. Ataupun you manage to write this one, also B2. Okay, dapat markah 2 juga. Kalau dapat semua, and you give all the answer correct, of course you get full marks lah. Okay, that's how we get the marks or mark when teacher give your marks in the exam. Okay, if of course the last answer correct, we will give you full marks lah. Okay, so how you get the marks? So make sure if you from the beginning part when you expand is wrong, totally the next step, the step all wrong lah. Okay, so I encourage you all to draw out this. Okay, tolong lukis. Okay, at least kalau kadang-kadang you can tak kena pasti jawapan akhir tu dah apa kan. You get this, you still can get 1 mark. Sometimes you get full mark also. It depends. Okay, I tak tahulah. Okay, tapi biasanya tak adalah. Sekurang aku dapat 2 sini lah. Okay, so make sure you all draw out. Then only 2 possible answer for the inequality. Kalau bukan ini, dia akan jadi macam ini juga. Ini dalam ni, maknanya in between. Okay, so salah satu saja. Okay, salah satu saja. Tak ada cara yang lain. So for inequality, only these 2 way, 2 possible answer ni. Ada the left side or right side. Of course, for this question is this one because you check if the last one is greater than 0. Okay, jawapan last 9 ni kena pasti dulu. Kalau dia lebih besar kosong, ini ininya bentuknya. Kalau kurang kosong, bentuk inilah jawapan dia. Okay so ingat apa yang cikgu ulang kaji balik. Harap kamu boleh ingat Kat form 4 kamu banyak dah tertinggal. Okay, hari tu exam pun tak berapa because tak sempat lagi nak buat ulang kaji kan. Okay, satu lagi. Okay, kuadratik ni inequality satu lagi Okay, this one. So ini is another questions. Okay, sama juga tulis balik dulu. 2x. Oops, sudah. Okay, wait for a while. Hang tadi. Sudah lag cikgu punya. Adakah cikgu terlalu cepat? Semua boleh ikut ke? Pastikan sama-sama Ya, Naim, Trivandran, ada lagi tak Trivandran? Wong. Okay, the rest Natalia. Yes, Okay, how about Kehwa? Aisha, Amira, okay everyone, you? Okay, you cannot, this one still cannot. I have to open it again.
Okay, Chair.
Yeah, good. Because no more time. Actually, 1 hour is not enough to explain everything to you all. But when you all listen to my explanation, make sure you all mark down the point. Later, when I give you all the question, you all try to do it again. Okay? Okay, here, this one. Okay, so this is another questions. To x square less and equal to 5x plus 3. Okay, this is a simple question. As you see, very short running right. Just arrange it into the general form. Okay, so 2x square. Okay, bring over 5x minus 3 less and equal to 0. Okay, it's very simple. So same thing, factorization. Use your calculator. Okay, you shall get this one. Okay. No problem, every one of you can use the calculator to get answer. Okay, so the x is negative 1 over 2, x is equal to 3. Excuse me. Okay, so after you get this one, so next step, this is not the last answer. As I mentioned earlier, check with the inequality sign. Okay, this is less than equal to 0. Okay, so less than equal to 0, what's your graph? Your graph must be on left, right, or in between. the answer, last answer. This is -1/2, and this is 3. When less than equal to 0, okay, between, yes. So here, this is the part of the answer. So your last answer, your X will be in between. Remember, the answer here got equal sign, so write equal sign. Okay, so -1/2 and 3. Follow the value, smaller value on the left and bigger value on the right. So that's it, the last answer. Okay, so no need to write the hashtag, not encouraged to write the hashtag, just leave it like that. Okay. So next one, number 4, number 5. Look at number 5. Okay, this is another type of questions. Okay, this one. Okay, so given your quadratic functions, okay, express the quadratic function in the form of this. So this form, of course, you can identify this is the completing the square format, right? Okay, completing the square format. Okay, so do the complete square. Okay, or any one of you want to try it out first before I show you all the answer? Okay, I give you all a few 2 minutes. Okay, follow the step I mentioned earlier. First thing, arrange it first. Arrange in the general form. Identify the value of A. If A is not equal to 1, factorize it. Then after start to do the completing square. Okay, give 2 minutes. Okay, who finished? Then you can respond in the chat. Okay, or you PM me directly your answer. So if correct, I give your present. Okay, so make it fast. Right now, see who is the first students to give me the answer. I'm waiting here. PM me, okay, you can PM me or respond in the chat. Okay, I got the first person to PM me. Okay, I'll check the answer. Okay, very good, Safwan. You got it right. Okay, very good. Anybody? Yang lain mana macam mana? Okay, now sudah drop. Okay. Yes, what's the answer? The first person respond which is got the answer correct is Safwan. Okay, congrats. Means that you already master, already understand how to do the completing square in the fast way. Okay, yang lain tu macam mana? Cuba yang lain. Want to try any one of you? Rikesh? Do it or not? Aziz? Some of your maybe line is not correct. Some is drop out of the line. You can come in again. It's okay. Okay. So I show you all how to do it. Okay. You know, respond also. Okay. Okay, never mind. I will show you all the answer. Okay, but just now the Safwan. Okay, I owe you a present. Okay, collect the present from me when we back to school. Okay. Okay, how we do it? Okay, just now I mentioned. Okay, you have to arrange it into the general form first, right? So -3x plus 9x minus 1. Okay, so since the A is not equal to 1, so we do the factorization. Faktorkan dulu. X was 2. Okay, how to get 9? So it's multiplied by 3, right? Okay, so ini akan jadi 1/3. But be careful, yang kat luar tu adalah negatif, so we have to check back. Okay, kalau ini negatif, dalam ni mesti apa? Ini jangan buat dulu, nanti kamu confuse. Okay, so macam mana? Ini negatif 3 kan? Okay, so we want to inside, we want to get positif, negatif, negatif, positif. So this one become negatif. Tak boleh ikut yang atas dah. Sebab kenapa? Sebab dia adalah negatif, kita keluarkan kita punya negatif. Oh, kenapa tak keluar lagi kat screen? Okay. So another one also same thing. Since the negative behind, so this one must be positive. Cikgu punya screen sudah lag dah. Tak keluar dah dia punya simbol. Maybe line a bit slow. You can see, okay, come out with it. Okay. So that is the way. So check that with this. This one and this one. The sign. Okay, tanda 2 ni kena hati-hati ya. Okay, kalau salah, ni the next step semua dah salah lah. Okay, so beware of this when you are given the negative in front. Okay, so make sure this one when you multiply in, masih lagi dapat negatif, positif 9. Negatif, positif, negatif. Okay, kenapa darab dengan 1/3? 3 kali dengan 1/3 akan jadi balik kepada negatif 1. Okay, so after you berjaya faktor, so baru you start buat completing the square atau penyempurnaan kuasa 2. So tulis balik yang depan, tambah dalam kuasa 2, tolak ini kuasa 2, tambah 1/3, tutup kurungan. Okay, so inside the bracket, make sure it's divided by 2. Your B divided by 2. Your B is what? Your B is -3. So tulis -3 bagi 2. -3 bahagi dengan 2. Okay, so lepas tu tulis balik. Tulis yang depan 3 dia dalam perfect square. Ada kuasa 2 punya, tulis balik. X tolak 3/2 kuasa 2. Mungkin ada yang tanya, cikgu yang tengah tu 3x dah pergi mana? Okay, when you expand the x minus 3 over 2 square, you will get back the middle terms. Okay, when you rewrite in the perfect square, actually that is become 3 terms. When you expand ada 3 sebutan, bukan 2 sebutan saja. Yang tengah-tengah tu tak hilang tau. Okay, mungkin ada yang dia takut nak tanya cikgu mana pergi tengah-tengah tu. Okay, yang belakang ingat sentiasa negatif, always negative behind. Okay, so become -3 over 2 squared 9 over 4, okay, plus 1 over 3. So guna kalkulator, tekanlah, selesaikan yang jawapan kat belakang. So kamu akan dapat -23/2 kan. Tekan kalkulator. Okay, lepas tu darab masuk balik. Okay, X tolak 3/2. Maaf, this one no need already. Darab masuk sudah tak perlu. Okay, X tolak 3/2 kuasa 2. So jangan lupa negatif akan jadi positif di sini ya. Ini akan jadi positif. Okay, 23/4. So this one will be last answer. So dah tukar dah dalam bentuk penyempurnaan kuasa 2. Okay. So Fatim pun dah hantar jawapan saya kat saya. Okay, betul. Okay, yang dah hantar tu betul lah. Ada yang salah tu tengoklah, nanti tengok balik siapa yang buat salah tu. Okay, kan sebab dah cuba kan. Ada yang tak sempat hantar kat saya kan. Okay, so good means that you already can do it. Okay, so yang tak boleh lagi punya, please make sure you practice more. Okay, to do the completing square. Buat soalan macam-macam. Ada negatif kat depan ke, tak ada negatif kat A1 ke, A bukan 1 ke, pecahan ke, semua pergi buat. Okay, when you practice a lot, then you will get used to it, so easier for you to continue. Okay, we will end up our class 12:30 lah. Okay, because your others not enter the class late, right? So we try to discuss another 2 questions. Lagi 2 soalan. Okay. Sekejap dengan loading. Okay, yes. Okay, so ini pun soalan. Okay, kalau biasanya kalau soalan bagi dalam, okay, kenapa saya punya screen tak keluar lagi kat sini ya? You all can see my, okay, come already. Okay, because actually I got 2 screen. Okay, can see or not the screen now? It should be okay, right? Because my another second screen here already shown the questions. Okay, can see already. Okay, good. So normally these kind of questions, okay, you already can get the answer direct from the question or from the diagram. Okay, so actually it's not hard. So you check it one by one what the question are. So you can see from here, this is the function given. Ini fungsi yang dah bagi, okay. Fungsi yang bagi di sini, okay. So dari fungsi ni sebenarnya kamu dah boleh kenal pasti apa. Sebab dalam fungsi ni, sebab kamu dah nampak dia sebenarnya dalam bentuk penyempurnaan kuasa 2. They're in the form of completing square. So behind here is your value item. From the graph, you can see this is the minimum graph. So here is the minimum value, right? So here, from here, you can get your value of x or axis of symmetry. Okay, since always remember x plus b, right? So x equal to -b. Okay, so your nanti dapat nilai tu di sini sebenarnya dah nampak dah. This is what? This is your minimum point. Okay, so what is your x? Your x is equal to 2, right? So your -b equal to 2. So your p is equal to -2. So already done for the first one, P, but not yet Q. Okay, Q belum lagi. Okay, Q tengok dia punya nilai Y di sini. 5. So apa yang sama dengan 5? 2Q tolak 3 sama dengan 5. The minimum value. Okay, the minimum value 2Q minus 3 equal to 5. So your 2Q equal to 8, Q equal to 4. Okay, so is it hard? Okay, right. Okay, so after that, how you determine your R? Macam mana dapat R pula? Anyone? How you get your R? Agak-agaknya macam dapat R. Dah dapat P, dah dapat Q, ganti masuk dalam persamaan lah. So you tulis balik Fx. Okay, R tu tak tahu, tulis balik. X tambah P. X tambah P. Itu berapa? Sebenarnya ada dua cara. Either you ganti the P and Q inside, right? Okay, then you get the answer. Ataupun you can get from here. Ambil titik ni, titik yang intercept Y2. When intercept of Y, apa yang jadi kosong? X jadi kosong kan? Okay, X jadi kosong. So ini adalah 13. So kita ganti masuk. X adalah kosong. Tambah dengan P, apa tu P? P dah dapat tu negatif 2. Okay, kuasa 2. Sudah tulis sampai nanti kamu tak susah kamu nak tengok. Okay, your X is 0 minus 2, okay, square, plus your Q is 4, right? 2 times 4 minus 3. So the Fx is 13. Because here the point, okay, when I choose the X is equal to 0. If you don't want to choose 0, 13, you can choose 2, 5 also, no problem. Boleh juga. Okay, so ini akan jadi 4. Ini akan jadi 8 tolak 3 akan jadi 5. So akan jadi 4R tambah 5 sama dengan 13. So from there you solve it, you get your R ni lah. Okay, so 4R akan sama dengan 8. R sama dengan 2 lah. Okay, so dah dapat lagi 1 markah. Okay, sebenarnya soalan ni 4 markah. Actually there are 4 marks for this question. Here 1 mark. Okay, your P, and here got 1 mark. Okay, from the part B got 2 marks. Okay, sebab dia perlu ganti di sini. Kat sini boleh dapat tu, boleh dapat 1, jawapan akhir dapat 1. Okay, so jumlah adalah 4 markah. Okay, so correct function ni dalam soalan graf paper 1 biasanya dia mengambil markah sama ada 4 markah, 3 markah ataupun 3. Okay, normally the inequalities will be only 3 marks. Okay, the another one which is either the graph given the completing square, normally 4 marks or 3 marks. Okay, so it contains about 7 marks already lah in this topic, 7 markah ataupun 8 markah dalam tajuk ini, dalam paper 1. Okay, use the minimum point also can, no problem. Can use any one of point. If you want to use minimum point means that your 2 minus 2 lah, you dapat kosong juga lah. Okay, then your minimum point here is 5. Okay, then you sama dengan 13 pun boleh. Okay, that's why I said use any one of the point. Okay, so Wong okay did I answer your question? Okay can So we proceed to the next question. I think I have another 2 questions until 8. Okay, last one because I read earlier the sketching already I show you. So I have 1 more question to share with you. Okay, satu lagi. Okay, the last one. After this, then we can finish our class. Okay, the next one. So this one also, given the function. Okay, so you see the function is not in the form of completing the square. Okay, dia tak ada dalam bentuk completing the square. So kalau tak ada dalam bentuk completing square, you have to do the completing square lah. Okay, sebab dia bagi dalam satu lagi maklumat di mana the maximum value is 4. Okay, then the one to find the value of K. Okay, so no other choices. You have to do the completing the square. Okay, because they're given the form in the general form, which is not completing the square. But since given in completing the square, but the value of A is equal to 1, so you can what? You can do it directly. Boleh terus buat completing the square. Okay, sebab A tu saja jadi 1. So salin balik dulu, X kuasa 2, tolak 6X tambah dalam bracket kuasa 2, tolak bracket kuasa 2, yang belakang tu tulis balik. Ini. Okay, so yang bagi 2. B bagi 2. B adalah negatif 6 bahagi 2. So, 6 bahagi 2. Okay. So, tulis dalam bentuk perfect square. X negatif 6 bagi 2 adalah negatif 3. Okay. Tolak 3 kuasa 2. Okay. So, belakang tolak mesti tolak. Tolak ini adalah negatif 3 kan. Kuasa 2 adalah 9. Okay. So, tambah K tambah dengan 5. So, sekarang ni boleh ringkaskan lagi. We can simplify it. So, you will get your K. This is plus K, ya. Plus K minus 4. Okay. So, in the form of the completing the square. So, now you can compare with the value which is given from the question, the information. Maximum value is 4. So, what is equal to 4? K minus 4 is equal to 4. Okay, because this one is your maximum value. But hold on, this question is a bit, I think a bit wrong. Okay, you know why? Because given the function is a positive. Okay, here. Okay, so this question a bit slightly wrong lah, but you still can answer it. Okay, this one is supposed to be this one negative, right? Negative, positive, right? Positive should be like this form. Okay, soalan ni ada salah sikit, baru perasan cikgu. Tapi the working is nothing okay, because only I think the graph should be U. Cannot be. Okay. So what's your K is equal to 8. K sama dengan 8 Okay, so dah dapat dah K. So kita cari pula kita punya axis of symmetry. So where's the axis of symmetry? Nampak C symmetry ni. Okay, so senanglah dari sini. So what's your X? So you can directly see your X equal to 3, which is your axis of symmetry. Okay. So yang dalam sama lah, kalau kamu boleh membuat completing square sini boleh dapat 1 markah. Okay. So you can get here, already get your second mark here. You can compare to get the value here, the 3 marks. So the last one is here, 1 mark. So total is 4 marks. Okay. So itu caranya nak dapatkan markah lah. Okay. Kalau boleh buat semua, confirm dapat markah penuh lah. Okay. So yang tak tahu tu, so at least tahu cara membuat penyempurnaan kuasa 2, kamu sudah boleh dapat 2 markah. Tapi kena buat dengan betul lah. Okay. So means when you do anything, positive, negative, okay, write properly. Okay. So remember masih plus, bracket square, minus bracket square. Inside the bracket, take the value of the B divided by 2. If the value of B is negative, then you put negative inside. If it's positive, then positive. Okay, clear? So I think that's it for today. I will show you around the 8 question. The sketching, I just managed to show you 1 question. I think later on I will give you all more exercise on it. So you all do it as a homework lah. Okay. So any other question to ask? Okay, before I ended the session today. Ada apa-apa soalan? Any other questions to ask? No response? Means everybody go. Okay, you can open your mic. Siapa yang nak bercakap boleh bercakap. Yes, Natalia?
All good.
All good dari sana. Okay, make sure you do a lot of exercise after this. At least manage to grab 7 to 8 marks in this topic. Okay, this is a form 4 topic. Okay, hopefully after this you all will feel happy or feel good. Okay, all the negative things, put it away. I know that still afternoon is still chemistry class. Okay, don't be sad. Don't be sad and don't be confused. After this, no more confused. Okay. So have your lunch, then proceed or get ready for your next class. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, I will give your exercise later. Okay, wait for it. Okay, you can slowly left the session. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Cha. Have a nice day.
Thank you. Have a nice day to all of you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.